Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me this morning to practice remembering that no matter what happens today, you are here to practice. My name is Michelle, and I'm so glad that you are here to join me today. So just taking a moment to get yourself settled in on your mat, grabbing blocks if you have them. Any blocks will do, easy to find them used or online or at Marshall's, whatever. And let's get started. Let's start standing today. We're going to begin with some breaths. Just I breathe in, I breathe out. We're going to keep it really simple today with the mantra. I breathe in, I breathe out. So just settling in, rocking back and forth on your feet a little bit until you slowly find yourself right in the center of your feet. Finding yourself grounded, feel like you're planting deeply, roots deep into the earth. Closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your center. Taking some deep breaths in and out. I breathe in. I breathe out. Just begin to notice your breath. Feeling the expansion of your ribs. And as thoughts begin to settle on your brain, use that I breathe out just to blow those thoughts past. Not trying to control anything, but not letting anything linger either. Taking this time for yourself. Deep breath in through your nose. Begin to close to seal your lips. Maybe changing your hand position to your ribs to really feel that expansion. And letting it go, I breathe out. Ribs open, I breathe in. I breathe out. Letting the hands fall to your side. Opening your eyes. Take a deep breath in, raising your hands above your head. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands, pressing them together, feeling that balance between both sides of your body. Inhale, and exhale. As you exhale, feel like you're knitting your ribs together, coming to a center place, everything coming in together. Inhale up, and exhale. Let's involve the legs as we do this. So inhale, up on your tiptoes. Exhale, pressing down into a chair. Inhale, up onto your tiptoes. Exhale. I can feel myself wobbling around as I do this. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale and exhale, holding in this chair for a moment. Feeling the strength of this position, pressing your hands together, pushing your shoulders down, knitting your ribs together. Take a few breaths here in and out. Inhale and exhale. Engaging your abdominal muscles, feeling the burn. Maybe you feel like you can push your legs out. Don't move them, but feeling that exterior muscles in your legs outside. Inhale up. Exhale down to chair. Moving dynamically like this, maybe going up on your tiptoes, or if you keep falling over like I keep doing, do what feels good in your body. Inhale. And exhale, hold in that chair pose again, this time opening your arms nice and wide. I breathe in, I breathe out. Hands to prayer, let's fold ourselves down. This is a great opportunity to grab a block, to bring the earth up to you. Feet can come a little closer together, maybe toes to touch. Let that head hang down. I'm going to move to the top of my mat. You're welcome to join me here. Inhale And exhale, feeling the knees relaxed, letting your body fall down. Feeling the weight that gravity is working and allowing the lengthening of your muscles. On your next inhale, we're going to do the same motion with our arms, lifting all the way up and around, hands to touch. Inhale and exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, once more, exhale. Keep your hands in prayer as you fold forward. Feel like you've got a puppet string on your tailbone lifting you up. I'm going to move my block out of the way. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth, moving into a plank position. Hold here for a moment. Yes, I know, a lot of holds that are really fun today. You're welcome. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, hiking into a downward dog. Let's move dynamically through this. Inhale and exhale forward. Rocking all the way forward. Inhale, going back to down dog and exhale. Don't forget about your ribs as we do this. Feeling that the movement starts at your center and you're knitting your ribs together. Just getting your body moving and warmed up this morning. Holding in this plank, rock forward on an inhale. I'm going to place my knees down. Slowly lower all the way down to your belly, keeping your elbows close to your sides, and slowly lower all the way down. Reaching your fingers, maybe a handprint forward. We're going to push into a low cobra. Sorry, my elbow is a little tweaked there. Inhale and exhale down. Feel like you have a big diamond necklace or a button on the front of your shirt that can shine. And you're reaching that all the way forward. Inhale. Just little babies. Little baby lifts. Warming up your back, your shoulders. Take a moment here, placing your hands together just to roll your neck. Maybe little small rolls just to feel the motion of all those joints and muscles. I breathe in, I breathe out. Allow yourself just to let the heaviness of your head move however it feels natural to you. As you can see, I'm just kind of moving through, critching and crunching as I go. Lowering all the way down, pressing yourself up through plank into downward facing dog. And take some time here to walk your dog a little bit. Stretching each of your legs and move however it feels comfortable for you. I know in this position I sometimes like the feeling of a little bit of a twist toward a straight back leg. It helps me open up my side body a little bit. It feels good to stretch that side body. Try it on the other side. Continue to move however it feels good for you. Take a moment to inhale and exhale 3 times through your nose here, planting yourself firmly on your mat. Continuing to return to your breath. The real success of practice is sticking with it, for one, and focusing on your breath, for 2. Inhale, take a look between your hands, bend your knees. Walk or hop your feet between your hands. Big exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the hands up and around, back to prayer. Let's repeat with the sun A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, reaching the legs behind you. Inhale, rock forward, exhale all the way down to your stomach. If you're ready for an upward facing dog, move through that. Otherwise, continue with the cobra that we did at the beginning of the class. Moving into down dog. Inhale, exhale, bending the knees, walking or hopping the legs up. Feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And when you do this halfway lift, feel the knitting together of your ribs. When you reach forward, so you're not just splayed out like this. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. This time when we inhale, we're going to move back to that chair pose. When I'm in a chair, I like to separate my feet a little bit. You're welcome to keep them together, particularly keeping your toes together. Totally yogi's choice on this one, moving into our chair. Nice deep bend here. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's move dynamically again through this chair, reaching straight. Arms straight up above your head. Inhale and exhale, lowering maybe a little lower than you did to start. Inhale up. Great opportunity to grab a block and stick it between your knees. Really helps to keep you focused on that position. Inhale and exhale. Hold for a moment. Lifting in your center here. Opening. Now, what we're going to do is come together. Hands giving yourself a really big hug. Inhale up. And as you hug, squeeze everything down a little farther. I know your legs are probably burning. Inhale, squeeze everything down. Inhale up. And squeeze everything down. Excellent. Let yourself forward fold here and take a moment, opening just a little bit wider your feet in this forward fold. And maybe finding your hands clasped at the base of your head, and just letting gravity do its work here for a moment, taking some big inhales and exhales. Swaying side to side, really letting it go. I love the feeling of a big inhale and exhale here. Now, if you are not in this super folded position, like my body naturally goes, that's totally fine. Just let gravity do its work. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling the ribs opening on the thighs. From the bottom up, placing your hands down, moving your feet together so that they're centered between your hands again. Taking your right leg back. Let's move into a crescent lunge. So keep that knee lifted. Hands down on the earth, feel the strength of your thigh here, and lift yourself up to this high crescent lunge. Feeling what's the word I'm looking for? Your hips facing the short edge of your mat. And a nice deep bend here. Taking some big breaths in and out, almost feeling like you can rotate, get those knees. You might need to bend your knee a little bit in this position. That's totally fine. That's still a high crescent lunge. Lifting the hands above. Inhale. And exhale. Let yourself fold forward in this crescent lunge. Same knee that's bent for me, that's my left. Placing that hand on the outside, maybe grabbing your block to bring the earth up a little bit. Let's open twist here. Kind of a little bit of a different twist. Inhale. And exhale. And let's move into the other side for a twist this way. Inhaling. And letting it all go with a big exhale, continuing to lift that knee. Inhale. If like me, your hips are burning a little bit from staying in this position, awesome. Push off the back leg. Bring your feet together. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching the arms to the side and all the way up to Tadasana. Exhale, hands in prayer. Feeling yourself planted and centered. I breathe in. I breathe out. Inhale, arms out and around to touch. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Just like we did on the other side, bending your knees as much as you need to place your hands under the earth, or maybe going to fists, or maybe grabbing your blocks to bring the floor up to you. It's about your body, your practice. and reaching. For me, it's my left leg that I'm working with now all the way to the back. Take a moment here in this crescent lunge to think about what works for your body. You may find being in a straight line here with this foot and that foot almost like a tightrope, it works for you maybe. Or perhaps you need to open up this front leg a little bit. Play with that a bit and feel what feels good for you before you lift your arms up above your head to center and settle into this crescent lunge. Engaging the thigh and the back leg, feeling those hip bones. I had to rotate mine a little bit. Mine was kind of flopping open there. Centering, facing the short edge of your mat, lifting your hands overhead. Inhaling and exhaling. Finding what hand position allows you to be centered. Maybe bending that back knee a little bit if straightening it all the way is not available to your body this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, whenever you're practicing. Finding your blocks nearby. We're gonna start with that open twist. My back will be to you. Placing the same hand as the bent leg on the ground and open up on a big inhale, I breathe in. Exhale, placing the hand back to the earth. Inhale, opening the other side. Exhale, hand back to the earth. Pushing off that back leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to your thighs, knees, or shins, or even the floor. Don't press on your knees, obviously. Inhale and exhale. Moving into an Anjaneyasana this time. The difference is same hip position facing the short edge of your mat, but we're gonna let our knee come down and untuck our toes. You might wanna grab a blanket close by or any kind of pad to place underneath your hip. Or, I'm sorry, what? Underneath your knee. Reaching the arms all the way up. Just like we did, we're gonna do a similar rotating open and twisting. So placing one hand down, feeling that knee over the heel, and opening with a twist. Inhaling, hands to the floor, and switching. Inhale. Let's do a few of these, just moving dynamically. You might find, as I am finding, that you really can open up the side, even stretching the arm all the way over. It just feels kind of nice. And move through this dynamically as many times as you feel like you want to. Just stretching side to side or twisting open, depending what your body feels right. Hands to the floor, to the ground, tuck your toes, lifting that knee. Maybe a little bend just to get some energy to push off that foot, bringing the feet together again. Moving through a halfway lift and an exhale, forward fold. Coming up to stand just so, you know, all the blood doesn't rush to our heads. And hands to prayer, taking another moment here just to center. I breathe in, I breathe out. Reaching the hands up, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth, reaching that left leg behind this time. And moving, same position of your hips, just letting that knee come down. Beginning to move dynamically through this. Again, don't forget, my other block is lonely over there behind me, but you know, both your blocks here to do this rotation. Just stretching nice and long. I love this one, I can really feel that in my ribs. But do whatever feels good for you, moving dynamically through this. We're just stretching side to side, opening, whatever feels good for you. This truly is yogi's choice, so. Moving dynamically, I think most importantly is returning that breath, so inhale as you stretch. Inhale. Awesome. Placing both hands down to the earth, feeling the knitting in of your ribs, tucking your toe, lifting the knee, maybe a little bend just to get some energy to push off and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Reaching the right leg back this time, we're gonna open into a warrior two. So turning your foot as far as you'd like, parallel with the short edge of your mat. Let's open to a standing position here in Warrior Two. Feeling the opening of your ribs here, maybe even using your hands to twist a little bit, opening up the arms to the side with some strength, and turning the head toward that front arm. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, stretching to reverse your warrior. Exhale, returning to a Warrior Two. Let's dynamically just straighten that front leg. We've been doing a lot of work staying in this bent position, so you might have a little bit of angry quads or maybe hips. Inhale, you can be angry at me, that's okay. And then inhale, continuing to practice, and exhale, bend. Inhale. I didn't count how many that was, so we'll see how many we do on the other side. Moving into a triangle position, hands on your hips. Same position of your legs here. Feel, without going into hyperextension, for me in triangle, I like to make it just a little bit smaller because it's hard for me to control all of this. Some people can get a nice, big, wide triangle, awesome. For me, sometimes I like to make it a little bit smaller because I can control what's going on in my center and in my legs without going into hyperextension and that sort of thing. Grab a block, if you have one close by, to place it behind your foot. And just for the moment, start by just tipping your hips. Kind of like I'm a little teapot style. Just bending into that leg that was your back leg when you were doing Warrior Two. Just tipping the hips. This is the position for triangle. Tipping your hips. Now here, as you're bent over in like the tip me over and pour me out part of I'm a little teapot, stay lifted in a nice long leg. Feel like everything's lifting up, placing that hand behind your foot. And then just like we did in Warrior Two, opening your ribs and extending your arm. And there you have it. You are in triangle. Inhale and exhale here. I breathe in. I breathe out. Moving your drishti perhaps, practicing your balance. Finding the floor, finding your toes. You're welcome to do this without a block, of course. Whatever feels good for your body. Continuing to lift in those thighs, engaging those, both of the legs actually. Using your muscles to bring yourself back up. To stand, turning both legs in to face forward. Let's use this opportunity for a wide-legged forward fold. Hands are lifted above our heads, reaching all the way front, continuing to lift those legs. Don't let your knees sag. Maybe bend your knees a little bit so you can feel that support. Folding all the way forward. Grabbing a block if it's close by and feeling that head hang again. Wiggling out your hips a little bit. Maybe doing the clasp of your fingers on the base of your head. Bending and straightening your knees. Feeling your awareness on your mat. Drawing yourself into this space. Being here right now in the body that you're in the place that you're in. So much of yoga for me is just settling into where I'm at. I breathe in, I breathe out, keeping it very simple. Let's come back the way that we came down. So reaching the arms out in front of you, maybe bending your knees to create some stability in your body. Turning to the other side, all you need to do is turn the other foot to face the short edge of your mat and bend into Warrior Two. Taking a moment here to think about this position. The heel of your front foot should be intersecting the arch of your back foot. So maybe taking a look at where you're at in this Warrior Two. Reaching your arms up to take a deep breath to settle down into Warrior Two. Opening up that side body so you've got a nice front front facing upper body. Turning your head. Inhale and exhale. Reversing your warrior, deep inhale, stretching that whole side body as far as you'd like. Feeling how that allows you to take a nice deep breath on that side. Feel the stretch. Inhale. Reaching back into warrior two. Let's move dynamically like we did on the other side. Inhaling. I'm going to guess 4. Let's do 4. This will be number 1. Inhale up. Don't forget about that back leg as you're moving through these dynamically. Reaching into that pinky toe on your back leg. That whole side outside of your foot. And I've totally lost count. Ooh, we sure are practicing. We're practicing counting today, I guess. Excellent. Find yourself settling. Now we're going to move again into that triangle position. Straighten your front leg. If that worked for you, like it does for me, to shorten your stance a little bit in this triangle, go ahead and do that. If it feels comfortable and strong to be nice and wide in your triangle, awesome. Grabbing your block if you have it, placing it behind that front leg. Finding your hands on your hips and just rock yourself. I'm a little teapot style over the tipping part. Now as you're standing, remembering that outer edge, I mentioned it in the warrior two, but remembering that outer edge of what was once your back foot. I guess we can still call it our back leg there. Reaching that arm forward. Let's move into this triangle pose now, starting with the hips, reaching forward with the upper body, placing your hand, feeling a lot of energy reaching into this back side, lifting your thigh on the front leg. Take your hand to open your ribs like you're opening up a door and reaching your head and your hand up to the ceiling. Feeling all the connections from the floor to the ceiling. And like we did on the other side, maybe testing your balance, finding your drishti down to the earth and up to the sky. Continuing to just gently move the neck and head. Sometimes this can be a great opportunity just to make sure you're not holding tension in that neck, but instead finding the connections on that lower half of your body. Placing your hand back on your hip. Let's feel those obliques to reach ourselves all the way back up again, settling into that warrior two. Moving through the front of your mat. At this time, we're going to bring our feet a little closer in. Grab your block if you'd like. We're going to move ourselves down into a Malasana squat to really open up the hips. So finding the position that works for you. Again, I like to bring my feet in a little closer. Ideally, your heels are on the ground. Of course, this is a pretty intense stretch for most bodies. So finding a position that works for you is pretty important here. Again, remembering that you're not trying to copy any position that you've seen. I saw this great quote yesterday about how a yoga mat is not a stage. Oh, I love that. Connecting the back of your upper arm with your knee here, feeling that isometric push between those two places. Your Malasana squat does not need to look like mine. But let's take a moment here in Malasana to do exactly what we did in Cobra. Now this may be hard on your balance, so you don't have to do this, but gently finding some movement in your head. Rotating the neck, maybe not too much, but just kind of rotating around. And once you feel like you've done enough on one side, maybe moving to the other side. Gentle rotation of the neck, feeling all those crunchies. Basically what you're doing here is just bringing blood flow to places that might be a little bit stuck. And if Malasana squat becomes a little intense to be holding for this long, just grab your block, find a good place for it, and use that as a support for your lower half here. Finding center again, breathing in, I breathe in and out. Gently lowering yourself all the way down to the earth. Maybe lowering down to your back. Let's windshield wiper our legs a little bit back and forth. We've done a lot of opening of those hips today. So allowing yourself just gently to roll side to side here. This might be plenty for your obliques, just to kind of roll side to side. If you'd like to join me in a little bit of oblique work here, firmly planting your hands onto the earth. Now I like to bend. Whatever side I'm gonna rotate over to, I like to bend my leg because it gives me a little more stability. So before we even begin, find yourself on a deep inhale and an exhale, squeezing your ribs together, making an imprint of your entire spine onto your mat. One more time, inhale. Exhale, knit your ribs together and allow your whole spine to really plant into the earth. Inhale, on your exhale this time, you can either take both legs over to the side or just that top leg straight. Exhale, reaching up, legs together, whichever side you're moving toward, bend that side leg. Find what works for you. It's kind of hard to talk while I do this. Inhale and exhale. Let's do a few more sets of these. Really feeling your obliques pulling you up, engaging those abdominals. I'm finding one side's a lot stronger than the other side today. It's funny how that works some days. You can do this also with both knees bent, if that allows you. The most important thing is that you're engaging these muscles, not that you're impressing yourself with how great you are at this. We're not trying to impress ourselves with how awesome we are. We're actually just trying to breathe. Do a few more on each side, just feeling that engagement of those lower abdominal muscles and those obliques. Placing your feet back to the earth and opening up into Baddha Konasana. Reaching our hands forward, let's do a little bit more core engagement. Just some simple crunches. There's not a yoga word for this because it's not exactly a yoga move, so just stretching forward, inhale, just pulses. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice long full body stretch. Reaching your toes forward and your hands back. Finding yourself planted in a comfortable Shavasana. Maybe grabbing socks for your feet. You can grab a pillow for your head, whatever's comfortable. Dedicate your practice here to 5, 10, 15, 3 more minutes of just laying still and letting everything sink in, letting go of the breath, continuing to use it to move thoughts through your head, not fixating on anything. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Again, my name is Michelle, and I hope you join me again soon.